Blog Talk Radio.
Sound.com. Welcome, everyone, to today's Earth Energy Forecast Show on this Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. Thank you for tuning in today, or if you're listening later to the podcast. I am your host, Joan Cerio. And I want to let you know that we do have Earth Energy Forecast on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. Just go to facebook.com/Earth Energy Forecast and just ask to be invited to the group. Love to see you there. I always post information about the latest earth changes and information about the show. So I encourage everyone to go there, do that, and, feel free to post on there too. So here we are, almost in mid-August, and things are really heating up. Quite literally and figuratively. And we're in the midst. It feels like we're almost to the midpoint of this, whatever this is. And I'm not talking just about the pandemic, but to this super intensity that we're going through, because every astrologer I've talked to has said that the second half of 2020 is going to be more intense than the first half. So as we're going through this intensity, what's the purpose of it? Like, why are we going through all of this if it's not that humanity is going to awaken? And so today, we're going to talk about that. And today I'm going to bring back my friend and psychic and transformational healer Maya Starhawk to the show, who's going to talk to us about this great awakening on Earth that has been prophesied by many indigenous elders. So we're going to learn more about that as we go through this eye of the needle time that we're in. Maya Starhawk is the granddaughter of a curandera, medicine woman, who used herbs and spiritualism to treat illness with the teachings of the traditional wisdom of Mesoamericans. She learned shamanism from Art Running Bear from the medicine clan of the White Mountain Apache in Arizona, worked with a Cherokee shaman woman for 20 years, and was initiated into Chankasha Tawala Aba bear medicine by two bears of the Choctaw tribe of Oklahoma. She is a master at the ancient art of reading the soul, bringing to the surface its deepest meaning and infinite connection to the cosmic journey. Maya uses her gifts to help others with their personal empowerment in embracing their truth. She offers shamanic transformation readings, shamanic spiritual life coaching, past life regression, soul retrieval, space clearing, and sacred circle ceremonies. Her website is mayastarhawk.com. And welcome back to the show, Maya. I'm so happy to have you here again today.
Hey, Joan. Yeah, I'm glad. This is going to be my fourth show with you, so I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and we always have a lot of listeners in for your shows. They love you, Maya, and so do I.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think back in October, I think it was in October. I forget the last time that we actually talked, but the change is coming up for this year. And we knew and we sensed it coming. Sure enough, we just didn't know to what extreme it was going to be. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And you talked about the intensity, and I'm absolutely right spot on the intensity, but there is a great purpose and great reason for this. But let me just go back a bit and say, well, last year I had that vision of the spiritual matrix coming on over the planet and dropping down all these frequencies into people, the starting to awaken people. Now, as I look at the spiritual matrix, it's like every single human being is being touched by this frequency. So what is this frequency? That's what's more important. We talk about frequency, but really what is this? It's very universal. It's really within our solar system, within multiverses. Things are changing, and our planet is changing. So the control systems are changing. So the rise of the humanity is really being, quote unquote, we're being unplugged. So what does that really mean, being unplugged? We're being
unplugged from what, Maya?
Right. It's unplugged from, we'll call it more like a centralized power structure that controls us, a system over the planet. It's been going on for thousands of years. And we are, this time period that we are in, we talk about the prophecies from the indigenous people. Well, we're right smack in the middle of it. This is the time of the Great Awakening. So imagine that everybody's being unplugged from control. So just think about that. Look at what's happening in the media. That's being unplugged. So what's happening? Everything's coming up with fake news. Things are coming up. And truth is being revealed. So what's happening within our politicians? That's being unplugged. So truth is being revealed. And very, very uncomfortable things that we're seeing, that's being unplugged. So by COVID coming in is really about us going within. That's really what this is all about. So that kind of stopped all the systems from working so that everything can come forward and to be revealed. Now, what happens there? Look what humanity is doing right now. So humanity is going through protesting and riots, heightened suicide, stress levels are high, increased mental breakdowns, emotions heightened, self-pity, pain. It just goes around and around and around as on a merry-go-round. But what's really happening is that it's coming to surface, and so people don't know what to do with it. And so this is how they react to it. But, when I say things are changing, the drama is increasing, doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It means that we need to speak deeply into what is really going on. This is our greatest opportunity. So we are actually removing old patterns that have been hardwired into us, and it's uncomfortable. Even in our personal families, our friends, we look at everything in our immediate surrounding and we go, wow, what's going on? Even within myself, it has been a true journey, things that I have thought that I had cleared up years ago came back full force. So it only told me that I was still holding a certain pattern, a hardwired pattern in my body, and that I needed to let go of. It was super uncomfortable. And a good friend of mine, Tom, actually helped me through this. And it was a great experience when I finally released that energy. But that's me. Imagine everybody else getting hit with these energies and saying, okay, so what do you do with it? I have to look at it. I have to see it. I have to understand it. And I have to purify it and let it go. And that's
how
exactly
did you do that, Maya?
By actually knowing that it was a controlled system, by knowing that these systems that are in my body were coming up, and I knew it, I felt it, and I knew it was pulling me to stay in a place of fear and insecurity, and I knew that that wasn't my field. I knew that that wasn't me. Those are things that I needed to just say, okay, I see that. I don't want it any longer. That is not my source. That is not who I truly are. These are aspects of self that we've taken on through belief systems and control systems. So now as you look at the spiritual matrix on the planet hitting every body, so it's forcing the hardwired ideas out of the body. But what happens when that happens? Pain, emotions, what do I do with that? So we can't swallow it anymore, and we cannot ignore it anymore. We have to allow it to come to surface. Have you experienced any of that recently, Joan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like you said, I think everybody has. And it's definitely a time where we are, I'll speak for myself.
Okay.
Just what really do I believe? And do I believe that anymore? And where am I on all of this? And how can I be more loving and accepting and neutral and, and expansive in my beliefs?
Mhm. Well, the way to do that is to access your own source. So I say source is within us. We are this magnificent source energy, and what we've taught is the opposite. So if we just kind of imagine the power within us and the source within us, and we live our life there, then everything else will naturally just move away from us, because there are the energies that are hitting our bodies that are helping us. We are reconstructing our own identity right now. And it's uncomfortable. We are. And so when we're removing the old patterns, for instance, my patterning would be the way I look. We'll say my hair was longer, and one day I said, no, enough, and I cut my hair. I cut it off. And it's very, very short, and I've never, ever done that. But the release of those ideas was wonderful, and I love it. But what I've also been doing is my medicines, or what's been on my altar, I've been saying, no, this is not me anymore. Things are changing. I don't need most melodies more. I don't need to work with ayahuasca or doing all the medicines that I've done for your consciousness. My consciousness is expanded unbelievably so that I feel like I'm just in this huge dream, and it's an amazing feeling. I feel my own purification coming through my body. So I don't meditate. I don't do any of those modalities, because I feel that those are things outside of myself, and I need to really access the things within myself. And I've always known that for years, because I've always done that for years, but I didn't really realize, what was really happening. So, even talking to guides, everybody was, I want to talk to guides. And I go, no, talk to your inner self, talk to your higher guide, which is you, your higher spirit. That's where you find your power and your source. So this is what I am doing is, going out back into the world. I'm going to Iowa next week, which is my second time this year, in between COVID, and helping, people as much as I can, and to help them with that source that they already have within them, and to expand that through. So I would say, Joan, it's just like the source within you is just expanding body and spirit together through our whole world. That is power. That will actually transform this world, because there's a lot going on. And yes, we get a sense that more is coming. And I do feel that, absolutely. Because the unplugging of our society, our planet, means that no longer can those dark energies hold us, but it's kind of like that last battle. They're going to try everything they possibly can, to hold us back into a cage. And we're not accepting it anymore. It's not going to happen. So religion is falling away, all modalities, ceremonies, chanting, let's just say any kind of ayahuasca, all those things that we're trying to find something outside of ourselves, we actually have to go within ourselves now. And this is what, and I feel it so dynamically. And it's, I mean, I don't know if you've been experienced that, but I know a lot of people to whom I've been in contact with, they're like, whoa, what is going on here? I feel different. Correct?
Yeah, it's kind of like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. You know, you've had it all along, Dorothy. You had the power all along. And that's what this year is all about astrologically, is, you know, becoming our sovereign beings, is becoming empowered, self-empowered.
Right. But what does that really mean? I think we've lost connection to what that really means, because we just bring in the outer world to validate the inner world, and we don't need we don't need that. We just need to access our own pureness. You know, love is not an agenda. You know, and love has been created as agendas here, and that's not where we're going. You know, we can't do that. We're here to transform this planet. So the rise of humanity is uncomfortable, bottom line. You know, it is. Because now we really need to face ourselves, and we have to ask, why do we do what we do? You know, why? Where did that come from? You know, why do I feel trapped all the time? Why am I crying? Why am I emotional? What's going on? It's like, because it doesn't work any longer. It's time to know it doesn't work, and then to release it from our consciousness. So what happens then? You feel dynamic. You feel like you're finally finding yourself, this source, which is unbelievable feeling. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable when you get back to you, who you really are, not the aspects of you, but who you really are as a human being on this planet. So we are actually really, which everybody just really expand, you know, push out and expand your frequencies, you know, very peacefully, not having an agenda, but just walking that path every day. And, you know, with the amount of people on the planet that we have, and everybody did that, boy, I'm telling you, it's going to switch over immediately into where we need to be and where we're supposed to be and where we're destined to be. But right now, things are being played out, and we all get a really big sense that more things are coming. And yes, they are. They are coming, you know, and I think that is going to awaken people even more so, because more things are coming. But what I find interesting is that a lot of people that I've been talking to, actually I just talked to a client yesterday, Roxanne, and you know, she's been thinking about buying land and getting an RV and starting a garden, you know, starting something just so she can be self-sufficient. I'm going, that sounds talked about it. Yeah. Many people are doing it now. I don't care what it is. I mean, in your home, I don't care if you're in a high-rise, you can do it out on the deck. I don't care what it is. Everybody's saying, okay, I need to do something differently, you know, because if an old system breaks down, you know, there is that in between. So which means that maybe we'll have lack of that toilet paper again, you know, or the lack of the food. But in the meantime, you know, just be smart, you know, until the new systems start, you know, to develop, because we need to move into new ways. We absolutely do. So what is the breakdown, and how is the breakdown going to happen? And with the election coming up, you know, things are just getting really, really loud right now. So we don't know which way that's going to go either. But I believe, I feel, and I sense that the more people that are on board to their own source and their own purity and their own purification will change all these outcomes, you know, and that's my goal and my purpose, you know, to help and to be on this talk show and to help people when they listen, saying, okay, feel and sense this, increase your connection to yourself and to the earth. because the earth is actually going to go through her transformation. She's unplugged. She's going to make her moves. And I know with your forecast and what you've been actually posting is really saying, hey, people, look what's going on, on the planet. And you've been showing a lot of that, the earth changes. I think we just had a volcano that went off in Indonesia.
Yes.
What all the hurricanes? What about the East Coast right now, and how many people are without electricity that are hurt? Why are they saying that many hurricanes are coming? And also we look at here, I'm in the desert, Arizona, we're about 114. That's intense, and that really affects the body. Yeah. So we're going to the extremes in our weather patterns, and if you're in an area where it's really a lot of snow, then you're going to have to be prepared for even more than that, And I have to be prepared here in Arizona and saying, okay, I've been looking about, moving from here. I don't want to be in this intense heat because it really affects, my body.
Yeah.
So there are big decisions that we need to make, but not out of fear. So that's very important. Do not do things out of fear. Do it out of your source and your knowingness. Fear is very debilitating, and it can suffocate you. It really can. And with COVID,
paralyzes you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think we've seen so much of it now. But, again, it's another emotion that we need to look at and say, well, where's that coming from? Where's that system coming from? Where's that control coming from? Why do I have fear? What is that all about? So we really have to dive into ourselves and say, you know what? I'm not accepting this anymore. I'm accepting my own purity and my own source. And let me tell you, that is beyond the best feeling in the world. And then, more and more people will transform. And that it is going to happen, no doubt. Humanity is changing, no doubt. We are going to transform, no doubt. We are moving into a whole new world, no doubt. But how are we going to get there? That is the question. How are you going to get there? How are you going to remove all the obstacles and all the old patterns? It's up to you. It really is. You have to really look at yourself and say, why? Why? Why do I believe this? That is so important, because as soon as you know it, you will change it. And that is really what's happening. It's intense. But it's something I've been in preparation for, I would say, since birth, all my life. If I really look back at it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm and going, wow, look at all the things that I've actually have done in my life, all the things I've experienced. And even before the talk show, I think I briefly talked to you about going into dream time. I felt tired, and then boom, boy, it's like I levitated in my dream, and it's like, whoa, what is it? It's just amazing feeling. But another thing that has changed in my body structure is food, alcohol, anything like that. I can't even look at alcohol. Food is like, I need certain foods now, a lot of water, a lot of lettuce. I mean, my whole structure around food has changed. And even things like jewelry. It's just like, I always love my Native American jewelry and power necklaces. And, that is no longer, I just kind of go, oh, that's interesting now. I see that. That's interesting. So it's kind of like the unzipping of this image of self, in a way, by those things that you automatically do because they feel comfortable, security in a sense. And then when you strip that away, what comes to the forefront? Ooh, yeah, that's a whole different feeling. It's really amazing. So I would suggest your listeners to look at those things. And I'm going through every part of my house and taking pictures down. And, I have this most beautiful, beautiful picture. It's called Ayahuasca Dreams. It's all these spirits. And I took it down. I said, no, This is not more. This is I don't want that focus. That is no longer my journey. So I'm really cleaning everything out and really saying, okay, how does that feel? How does that feel?
And that's interesting that you're explaining it in this way, because I've been feeling like the spiritual community, like the word spiritual or whatever. I'm like, no, that's old. That's done. That's whatever.
Yeah.
And I've always felt when I was doing healing work that I didn't need a lot of gadgets or extra. I'm like, no, all I need is myself. People would buy all these machines and stuff. I'm like, you don't need that, So this is the time where we're realizing, it just comes through us, that we are connected to Source. We always are. It comes through our hearts, and that's what I'm feeling too. I'm feeling more of an opening of my heart. And I think a lot of other people are, although, in the collective, when we look at things, it doesn't appear that way. But I really feel like there's a grand heart opening right now, too. Like love is starting to pour forth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would say probably about 6 different tarot decks that people have given me. And in the past, it's like, okay, what's the card for the day? And I would say, no, I don't need that. No. I got all of those.
My body tells me what the card for the day is.
Yeah, there you go. That is so true. You wake up and you listen to your own
body.
Know.
You just know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the spiritual community, we'll just say, we won't say spiritual community, we'll say the metaphysical community. Let's go more into that, because that was created, and that was, I can see how that was very controlled, but we all learned from it. We all went into that metaphysical journey and to try to understand, our spirit self through it. But that is obsolete also. But the community that we're bringing together is the body and spirit communities. We're feeding both, we're taking care of both. And that's through what we eat and through community with people, talking to them, being with them, and bringing back that feeling, because we need each other right now. We are interconnected, and it is so important that we reach out to people, touch them, be with them. Hug them. I know COVID's going on, but, it doesn't exist in my reality at all. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't even know it exists. But when I walk out the door and I go into any store, that is where you have to do what you do. You put on your mask, and say, oh, okay, COVID, all right, okay, put on your mask, go into the store, do the things, and then go back home. But as soon as I walk out of any door where that mask is right off, and say, okay, putting it aside, this is what I need to do. But it's not in my consciousness. I don't look at numbers. What is going on in Arizona, what's going on in Florida. And a mutual friend of ours, Joan, I just talked to Mary Morningstar in Florida. And yes, she states she's been in her house since March because she's compromised, and I get that. She has things going on, and she's smart. She's very, very smart to make those decisions, because it's not fun in Florida and the numbers that were going on over there. So people that are sick, yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. But I'm just explaining me and my choices and my decision-making is that does not exist. So if that does not exist, then I'm not bringing it into my body. You understand? Because, we can bring those energies into our bodies if we really fear it and it comes towards us. Yes, that can happen. Not saying it will, but it can, just depending. And that depends on, your journey, too, on this planet. So we never know which way or how we're going to be leaving this planet, and it could be by that source, and it could be by something else. Who knows? But I choose that. So when I choose that, I choose my self-empowerment, my own sovereign beingness, I choose that. And when I choose that, I feel really good about it. I mean, I feel really, really good. And that's what I call this cosmic intelligence within me and with us. We're really connecting to our own intelligence and say, wait a minute. Say, we're birthing into something really new and different, but we have to look at these things and to say, okay, time to let all those things go. And what is the result? See, that's what I'm looking for. It's like, okay, what's happening here? That's what my joy is, to see people transform. Yet we know that people will not be able to transform through this. That's okay. That's totally okay. Because that energy that they're holding in their bodies is actually going to transform out, and it's going to help the planet. So it's all good. It has all purpose and reasons. But, I'm asking people, the listeners, is just to really pay attention to your inner guidance. That's all. Keep it peaceful. Keep it strong. Keep the mind out of it. Keep yourself in a very powerful sense of your beingness, and that feeds everybody. It feeds the planet. Without all these agendas and ideas would be really, really wonderful for many of us. So I'm going to drink a little bit of water because I talk a lot.
Yeah, and you need to stay hydrated there, too.
Oh, yeah, it's super, super hot.
Yeah. So I have a question, Maya, because you were talking about the new ways and what we're moving into, because as things are breaking down, we're going to reform all these structures, and we see that in the astrology too. So what do you see? If you can see what may be coming, are you seeing anything that we're going to be building towards?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's already there, we'll just say. So we'll say that if it's environmental, everybody's been very concerned about our planet. Well, yeah, those things are all going to break down. But there's already intelligence in play, ready to just step in. It's been designed, we'll just say. Things that are now being dismantled, even in a political way, all that is being dismantled. Well, there's another energy source that's going to be coming through. These high evolved beings that have been in play to come forward, and they are coming forward in different arenas. If you really start looking out there and really start watching news and start seeing things, you can really filter out and saying, okay, what is this person really doing? It's already in play. It's happening. So our world is going to change as far as it's going to be pure again. We're going back to that. It's going to take time for us to clean it up, but yes, we're going to go back into communities where we're not going to be using money. I think that's really important. I think we've all known that. I think that's the way that we should be bartering. We should be helping. We should be growing and sharing. Those are the things that we need to go to. So that
communities
is already,
are going to be important.
Communities are super important. I was just watching in Costa Rica with, I think, what's his Zac Efron is documentary, and he's in Costa Rica, and there's an eco village. Okay. Oh my God! It was just the most amazing episode to watch. To see these houses, and these houses are beautiful, made from earth, amazing houses, and they have a community kitchen, but they live off the land, and all that food is just unbelievable, and they've been surviving like that. This is how they do it. They are taking care of the planet, they're taking care of earth, and they're doing things in community, and they're super happy. It is not a religion. It's not this way or that way. It's just that they all live in their homes, and they have a community, and they grow food together, and they eat together in a community kitchen. They all cook. And they give thanks to God, and they're on the way. I mean, come on. That is really important to do that. And that's what I have always sent and always seen and always in my visions of what I wanted. And I can see
me too.
And I can see the field, and I can see the greenery, and I can see all the houses, the little houses, and in the center, yes, that was where all the food is. And this is where we take care of ourselves and the earth. This is where we become these cosmic intelligence. When I say cosmic intelligence, I'm saying we're no longer have that shield over our planet or that system over our planet, that we're not aware that we're cosmic. We're not, this planet is within this universe. We are cosmic, but we don't know that. We don't experience that. We're never taught that. And now we're going to be birthing into that and bring more awareness to that. So I feel that is, where I feel excited about for my grandkids, because I have 5 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. And, yeah, I'm excited for that. And new children coming into this earth, yes, I'm very excited for this new earth that we are paving the way for, that we are feeling so uncomfortable, but we have purpose for it. As much as uncomfortable, we have to think about the new people, the children that are here. We have to pave the way for them. And yes, if we have to suffer a little bit, then so be it. But we're going to protect these children because they are the new earth. This is the new earth for them, and we have to take responsibility for that and to move forward. And I'm telling you, these kids, even my grandkids, they're beyond. I mean, it's amazing to hear what comes out of their mouths. It's like, whoa, this is really amazing. And
do they remember their past lives, Maya?
My granddaughter, Adriana, she is 8, and I believe around 5, it could be even 4, she told her mom, she goes, I love you, Mom, but I miss my other mother. And she goes, but I'm your mother. She goes, no, not you, my other mother. I miss her. And it's like we both looked at each other and said, oh, okay. And then she talks about missing her grandfather that lost his leg. And we're going, wait a minute. There isn't a grandfather here that lost their leg. She goes, oh, yes, I miss him. I'm like, whoa. Those are the things that start coming up. Yeah. They just say it out of their mouths. And yet I have a grandson out of all these girls who were born, one grandson, and he was born in this world speaking his own language. We never understood him, but he knew. He knew. He always just had this language that he would be talking. We're going, whoa.
Interesting.
And right before he went to school, in kindergarten, he was still kind of mixing English and that kind of way of communication. And even to this day, my beautiful Gabriel, he is very resistant to education. He's very, very resistant. It doesn't seem to match him in any way. His frequency, really, just his smile alone is all love, but he just can't. But we're, trying to just educate him even in his English, or to read and write, and he is now 11. I think he's 10 or 11, and still he's in resistance of that, and it's really interesting. Nobody judges it. Nobody, calls him stupid or whatever. We're just like, no, we just flow with it. We take care of it and work with it. They're unique. They're different. And I have another granddaughter that just loves to watch, science or the earth. She's really into the earth. One Strange Rock on Netflix. Boy, oh boy, was she into it. Grandma, look at this. Look at our earth. I was like, wow. So this is what, it's beautiful to see it, and I'm really excited about it.
No, that's great. Yeah, because they show us where we're going. They show us the way the new Earth is going to look, because they're coming in with, they have to come in with all bells and whistles on. They don't have the years and years that we did, the luxury of working on ourselves and all of that. No, things are changing in the blink of an eye pretty much now. So.
Right. Before we get off the show, I think it's important that it's kind of the way I look at what's going on the planet. Remember Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus? Remember the circus? The circuses. This is kind of how I see it, the greatest show on earth. And everybody is, in the arena. We'll say humanity's in the arena. And we're looking at the greatest show on earth. But what is happening is that before, the show was like illusional. They just come up with all these different types of people and entertainment, and we're laughing and eating our popcorn. Now it's like we're looking at the greatest show of earth and saying, oh, wait a minute, that's all an illusion. So then now we really start seeing the truth. We're watching it. We're watching it very clearly and go, okay, this doesn't feel good anymore. You've been taking my money. You've been taking, my source. And that's exactly what is happening. And so now we're going, okay, I don't want to look at this anymore. What I'm asking people to do is just be neutral to what you're seeing. You're going to see it, but be neutral. That's all I'm saying. Change it within yourself and change it within your source. Open up your source energy, and that will actually guide you every day of your life. You're going to love it. Please, just this is big. And you mentioned the word, and I've said it before, that statement, the eye of the needle. Yes, absolutely. But the more that we can get people on board, Joan, with your talk shows and your information, my information, whatever we can do, we're going to actually pave the way. We're going to help. We're helping to expand that consciousness. We're helping people to be aware. And that is our mission. However it turns out, will turn out. But we're really on the tipping points right now. We've really got to get things going.
This is it. This is showtime.
This is it. The Earth awakening, I know there's things going on in California. I think the fire's on the fault line, the San Andreas fault line. I think you posted Carolina. Was it South Carolina, or there was an earthquake out there?
North Carolina. Yeah, they haven't. That's so anomalous. Like over 500 years, I think it was. They haven't had an earthquake there. Yeah. Which is
interesting. Like, okay, why there? Why they don't? 500 years.
Yeah.
It said there's movement. So if you see Mother Earth like stretching now, and so as we're stretching now, that means a lot of unpredictable things will be happening. Things like an earthquake can happen there, where we'll go, wow, it should be in California, or the Madrid fault. We're thinking about those major lines, and then it's very, very unpredictable. So just be aware of your surroundings, and make sure you have water, food, and kind of sit back and watch this. I'm also saying, telling people just try not to watch anything that's negative on TV as far as the old movies, the blood and the killing and fighting.
I can't do it anyway.
That can't even away, because that's another plug-in. That's a way to keep you plugged into that world, to those dark energies that want to keep you, in that source. And if you get pulled into it, then that's exactly you're not going to like how you feel because of it, because they're really trying to hold on as much as they can right now. So keep away from anything that's negative as much as possible. I find that I only can do documentaries and, maybe some music, and very selective on the things that I'm looking at. And that and pure, because what I'm actually watching is that even on Redbox, that every time you look and they send, okay, this is the new movie, it's all about negativity and darkness. It
violent.
It's violent. And what happened? I mean, it's like in a inundating us in every little nook and cranny in every corner. It's like, okay, just be very aware of that also. But above all, just really stay very strong and clear in your own source, which is so powerful, so divine, so amazing, so intuitive, so everything. It is unbelievable when you actually access that. Boy, oh boy, I cannot even put words into what I feel. I cannot even do that. It's undescribable, but you will enjoy it. And just be strong. Be very strong. And know that it has purpose. That's what I'm actually putting out into the world for the rise of humanity right now. Mm-hmm.
So Maya, as you have changed, and as I know that I'm changing my work right now, and that's really actually in the astrology right now, how has your work changed?
Oh, I'm just revamping my whole website right now. I'm taking so many things off. Everything. I just contacted. Okay, no, this is no more. This is not me. We are actually going to condense this into one thing, and just be super authentic and to really express who I am today. And that is consistently. And so, that is definitely a big one for me. Watching all these things and saying, okay, I am changing that dynamics. That does not work anymore. But I really want to make sure.
Because,
Go ahead.
The other day I was adding something to my website, and then something happened, and I lost the picture of the heart. It's still there because I haven't republished it, but I'm like, okay, it's time. I've been putting this off. It's time. I've got to change this. Like, the whole thing is going, and I already have an idea of what I'm going to do. So, it's definitely time. So I just encourage everyone out there to embrace that and not be, again, to go into the fear or, what's happening. No, this is all new, and allow yourself to change and be who you truly are.
Absolutely. And the changing of websites is just, the validation is that we're receiving our own source information. That's what it's doing. So really connect to that. My source is telling me, no, I'm not that no longer. I'm not that person. And I have to actually go towards this new me that is evolving and really connect to that increased connection. That increased frequency connection is just unbelievable. And I say that over and over and over and over again because it's something that we've never experienced. So when we experience it, we really want to engage in it. So we are just getting off the merry-go-round. No more circuses, getting off the merry-go-round and spinning around and around, No longer can do that. It's spinning us out, and it's spinning our bodies and our spirit out, and we got to bring them back together and say, no, no more. This is not happening. So, and that's the attitude that we have to have. It's just like, no, this is not happening anymore. I'm sorry. And that's in our personal relationships. No more, we have very, very poor boundaries. We're not being strong, and that's because we're still hardwired into those thoughts that keep us really locked in. And once we know that and change that, we're saying, okay, I get it. There is not, if you look at it, there has not been really any major teachings to this and saying what is source. We've just been taught religion, which is telling us things that are outside of ourselves, go, wait a minute, that doesn't feel right,
No,
that doesn't feel
actually. It flows through us. It flows through our hearts.
There you go. Absolutely. The flow.
So always go back and connect to your heart, as I wrote in Hardwired to Heaven. All hearts are connected, and they're connected to the quote-unquote, the one heart, the source. And the unified field flows through us. We're part of it, and it flows through our hearts.
Absolutely.
And that's our seat of intuition.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I totally connect with that energy. But, love, again, as I say, love is something that we've never really, really experienced, because what we've really experienced is a lot of controlled love.
Yeah, because love is really an energy. Love is, period. So it is that source that flows through us. And if we haven't really tapped into that, then of course we haven't felt it in its fullness.
I like that. Just period. Love is just love.
Everything is. That's what creates everything. Last book that I wrote, Into the Heart of Love, Decoding Love's Hidden Power. Yeah.
Yeah, you've tapped into that. How many years ago was that now?
2017.
Book. Yeah.
2017. Yeah.
That around those periods, around 2016, 17, is where things started to really amp up, and really started to change. And so, putting out books of love. And my cousin did one love, the self diet of love. To love yourself, if you're going to be releasing or want to lose weight. But then again, those are kind of images that we have about our bodies that we have to really, go back and to love our bodies. But that, again, is we get a lot of discomfort in our bodies because we're being separated from our body and spirit, and we feel disconnected. And so we're trying to connect by what we eat. So when we come back into connection, we won't have that any longer. So that is happening. So a lot of self-love in the heart and in our bodies and our spirit is super important. So I'm on board for this. I'm just super on board. And again, I'm going to Iowa on this coming Monday. I'll be there for 2 weeks, Knoxville, Iowa, and doing a lot of work with people out there. I was planning on going to LA in September, but that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel. I feel like September is very iffy right now, so I canceled that.
Yeah. And Mars retrograde.
Is it? I see. I don't get into astrology.
On 9/9, Mars goes retrograde. Yeah.
So I wasn't, looking at that, into astrology, but I was just really tuning in to myself.
Right. You just feel it. Yeah.
And the validation comes through, like you say, astrology, and then go, oh, okay, then that makes sense. There's just something that I innately feel inside of me, and then I respond to what I feel inside of me. And then I made that phone call, and which was very interesting because even the phone call and talking to Roxanne, she was saying, things are changing within her. And so this validation started to just come in. So it's amping up so you can make a decision one day, but this change on the planet is just twitching. Boy, it's like this way, that way, this way, that way. So you have to go with it.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I mean, I have to feel every day because even though I knew this was going to be a year of unprecedented change, I had no idea about the specifics. It was going to be a pandemic and on and on and on. And I find it really difficult to see too far into the future this year. It just feels so fluid.
Yeah, very, very good word. Very good word. I had plans to go to 2 different parts of Canada. Interesting. New York. Okay, look at COVID, New York.
No, we're great now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're one of the best states probably in the country right now. So yeah, we took care of that pretty well. I mean, I have to say here.
Oh, did you? Yeah. You see, I'm just. Yeah, you see, again, I'm not looking at numbers. I'm just believing in humanity to just kind of, help make the change and come together. I really feel, I'm more feeling the collective of energies than individual states. But it's good to hear, it's very good to hear. And
that
they're not letting people in. So where, the snowbirds always come, and probably September, October, November, December, now they can't come any longer. So, there's still things going on. It's fine. Everybody stay home and, take care of themselves. Always good talking to you, Joan. Good shows.
Yeah. So, Maya, how can you help people with removing their patterns?
Well, I'm doing it just by talking right now. Through this talk show, I'm already doing it. So anybody that is listening and hearing, I'm already putting out this purification through each and every one of you. But also, I do help people. I do readings. But and even that word reading just doesn't apply. I'm here to transform. That's my purpose.
Right.
For me.
Yeah.
So readings. I come up with another word because that just doesn't jive with what I do now.
Yeah.
But I'm here specifically to transform and to see the patterns within you and to help you to remove those patterns and to understand that. So I do that through, I do, phone consultations. You can call them that now. I do a lot of phone readings and, again, going to different places that I can get to reach more people. So we will see. We will see. But just by me sitting in my home and sitting out and knowing I'm in a great purification state is going to actually help people. Either my neighborhood, my cul-de-sac, whatever it is around here, my friends, my family, just, not even having to talk about anything specifically, but just to be with them, it helps everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Each of us is a pebble in the pool of energy, of communal energy that we are in, and we cause ripples, and it's up to us to decide what type of ripples we want to send out.
Right. And I also put out, there is a wonderful video I saw. I think I posted it. I don't know if you saw it, Joan, but it's called A Call of Humanity, A Call to Humanity by Dr. Catherine Hobbs. That's a super good one. Super good one. She is phenomenal. And she also, her website's called Oracle Girl. Phenomenal. Really get hooked into that. I mean, you really get some really good information from that. It feels right. She's one of those people that are here on the planet to transform us, to help us, not to transform. That's not the true statement. She's helping us to look and to access our own. She is, her presence alone in your life. So, there are things out there. You just have to look at what you connect to. Yep. Yep.
Is there anything else you want to share with us today, Maya?
No, this is good. This is, it's everything that I've been wanting to say, everything that's been inside of me, and I just feel that having this conversation with my phone, through the internet, out into the world is what I need to be doing, and we'll just see, Joe, maybe, down the line and see what happens the next couple of months and see how we're all transforming again and just get back on the talk show for another uplifting information, huh?
Yeah, another update. Yeah, that'd be great.
Really, is another rise, and to really kind of tune into what's happening with everybody now. So, definitely, I thank you. I feel that connecting to this, and again, being my fourth interview with you, it's easy, it flows, and it's very purposeful. So I thank you for inviting me onto the show.
Oh, thank you for coming, Maya, and for sharing all of that with us on this Tuesday. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so we've come to the end of another show, and next week we're going to have Jane Reading come back for our Loving the Earth Day that unfortunately didn't happen that other week because Blog Talk was down. So we're going to do the show that we were going to do last month, this month, And it's going to be about calming anger, how to calm anger. And I think the universe, well, I know the universe knows what it's doing, because this is just perfectly timed with what's happening and in the astrology and all. So that's what we're going to talk about. And of course, we're going to do a meditation. And it's always wonderful to connect with Jane. And the two of us just love doing that show. So I hope you all tune in for next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on Earth Energy Forecast. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Tap into your hearts and know that the power of the universe flows through you. Much love.